Good morning, friends. It's Carrie from Stretch Cheat. I'm back. I took a little bit of a break last week. It was, a little bit of high emotions in the Chicagoland area. From what I can tell, based on people I've been talking to, they're not showing much of what's going on here in the media. And it's been pretty crazy around here. So, emotions are high. And for a lot of us who are empathetic, empaths, it's tough when emotions are this high. So anyway, I needed to take some time off. So I appreciate you guys being really patient and checking in on me. For those of you who did, thank you. Today we're getting back to it. I'm feeling much better. I had a lot of rest and things are slowly getting, I wouldn't say back to normal by any means, but definitely not so intense. It was a really emotionally intense week for a lot of people, for everybody, I think. So I hope you guys are all doing well, because I know you guys probably felt it too. It's a tough thing to have to, to take on emotions if you're empathetic. So if you are that, if you consider yourself an empath, you get it. Anyway, talking a lot. I picked this card today, chair pose, and I figured this is a good way to start to kind of like dive back into the world and, just kind of find our strength, find our balance, and get back to it. Okay. So I hope you guys are good. Let me know in the chat. I need to open this chat up. I don't know why it's not showing for me. So let me get that chat popped out. And, let me know in the chat who's here. If you end up watching class after it's already started, then go ahead and fast forward to where we are so that you can participate in class. I really love problem solving people while they're here. So if you are having any sort of issues, write it in the chat so that I know what's going on with you, and then we can actually approach the things that are going on in your body during class. If it's your first time experiencing resistance stretching, you might want to check out some of my other videos first before you dive into live class, especially if you are diving in anyway and you feel like maybe this class is a little weird or a little hard for you. Check out some of the other videos so that you can kind of get a good feel for what resistance stretching is, how it works, and how to make sure that you're doing it in the best way possible. But I want to make sure everybody knows the most important things are that you move all the time, you resist all the time, and that you're constantly moving, okay? We never stop moving. If anything hurts, you don't do it, okay? If anything hurts at all, resistance stretching is not painful. None of it is supposed to be painful, and the way that you get the most gains is by really listening to your body, and then we can problem solve through. So let me know if anything hurts. Let me know if anything is really uncomfortable for you, or if you need a modification. You just tell me in the chat, and I will modify as we go, okay? All right, so let's get this set up. You notice my curtains finally came in that I ordered online in April. See how pretty? So nice, huh? Oh, also, let's do this, get some better lighting in here. All right, so if we start off just to kind of get a, sorry I missed you guys too, just to kind of get a baseline for where we're at, let's go ahead and try out our chair pose. So you're just gonna bring your feet about shoulder width apart, and then very gently and slowly try to sit down like you were sitting in a chair, but keeping your feet connected to the floor. And at the same time, you can bring your hands over your head and come into the squat. Now, it should just feel like you're getting ready to sit down on a chair, but with your arms over you, right? So see what that feels like to you. Notice if you have any aches or pains, or anything that feels tired or strange. If your neck feels funny, like if you feel some tension here, if it's hard for you to lift your arms up, if your quads are tired, if it hurts your knees, just let me know, and then we can work through it. Or it might be helpful for you to just like take a few notes, get a notebook out and see if there's, if you want to take some notes and see what your body's telling you to do. Holy cow, it's been a couple days since I've been on and I keep forgetting how to talk. Okay, Suri, you ready to stretch? Let's do this. All right, so the first stretch I want to start with is for your quads.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you please repeat it?
Suri and Siri sound a lot the same. Nope, don't want to talk to you. Okay, so go ahead and lay on your back. Bring your right leg up and grab behind your hamstring right here behind your thigh with both hands. And then hook your left leg over top. We're going to do a little resistance stretch for your right quad. So you're going to resist like you're trying to push both legs apart. Push up towards the ceiling and then pull down with your top leg to get this stretch in your right quad. So you push up for strength and then you pull it down for your stretch. You're resisting both ways. What's going to happen in this one is after a handful of stretches, you're going to start to feel a burn through the front of your quad, and that's a good thing. That's the stretch. Even though it doesn't feel like a stretch, it's a resistance stretch, which means it's stretching in the middle of the muscle, like in the belly of the muscle, instead of stretching from the outside. So it'll feel different than what you're used to. Don't let that deter you. We're going to do about 10 repetitions or until you feel like you're getting tired, and then we'll do the other side. So up for strength and down for stretch. And then let's go ahead and switch sides. So reach and grab your left leg with both hands, hook your right leg over top, and you're going to resist by trying to push both legs apart. Your bottom leg will push up towards the ceiling, and your top leg is going to pull you down. Both legs are fighting the whole time. When you get up to the top here, this muscle, the quad muscle, is short, and you can actually feel it shortening if you put your hand there. Then when you pull with your top leg, you'll feel the muscle lengthen. And then you know it's stretching. Although it might not feel like a traditional stretch. It'll be a resistance stretch, which will feel more like a burn, a tug. It'll feel deep in the belly of the muscle instead of on the ends of the muscles. So that's okay. That's a good thing. It should not hurt anywhere. So if you feel knee pain, if you feel cramping, if you feel anything in your shin, that's a sign that we have some other work to do. So if you need to problem solve, just let me know in the chat, okay? Give me a little holler, and I'll help you through it. Up for strength, and down for stretch. All right, now we're gonna switch to a new stretch. This one's for the inside hamstring right here. So you'll take your right hand and grab your heel with your right heel with your right hand and let your knee open up to the side. It's open about 45 degrees. Then you're going to resist by trying to kick your heel down toward your body. And then you pull up. But at the same time, you're resisting by trying to keep your leg down. So there's a little fight between your arms and your legs. So you're going to feel a little bit of resistance. So like if you slipped, your arms would fly up and your leg would fly down. And then what we're looking for here is a stretch right here on the inner part of your hamstring. As long as you feel that, you're okay. If you don't feel that, let me know. We'll flip it around and give you a different stretch, okay? So up for strength and down for stretch. You just go back and forth. And about 10 repetitions again. And when you feel like you're ready to be done, just be done. It's okay. All right, let's switch sides. So grab your head with your right hand. Bring your left leg up and let it fly open to the left. Then grab your heel with your left hand. Everything here is happening on the left side of your body. Kick your heel down towards your body. This is your strength training move. And then pull up for your stretch. As we kick down, you're getting activation in this inside hamstring muscle. And then you just go up and down. Up for your stretch and down for strength. If you guys can hear Sari hissing, the neighbor cats are fascinated and sitting in our windowsill. They're having a chance to meet today, which I think is so cute and lovely. But Sari is trying to pretend like she's mean and big, and she's not. Sari, come here. What are you hissing at, you silly cat? And again, we're doing about 10 stretches, so just do as many as you want. It's not a big deal if you don't do 10. It's also not a big deal if you don't count. Like if you end up doing 15 or 20, like that's okay. It's just what your body needs, and that's the most important thing. Listen to what your body needs and what your body's telling you. So if you feel tired after 2 or 3 stretches, that's okay. That's just where you are today. Sorry. She just attacked the window this time. Come here, Bubba. What are you doing? You're fine. Okay, so now we're going to come up into a butterfly position. Bring your feet together and your knees open. And you're just gonna squeeze your legs together while you try to push open with your arms. This is our strength move. So the groin muscles here are really short right now. They're like tight muscles. And then use your arms to push you open. And you'll get a stretch through your inner thighs. You can kind of lean forward if you feel like you want a deeper stretch. And then you push back in for strength training. Make sure that you feel the stretch in your inner thighs. Okay, right here. If you feel it on the outside or in the back, it could mean that you just need to resist a little bit less. So go ahead and take that down a notch. Just a little resistance is okay. It doesn't have to be a ton. But you do have to resist. So if you find that you're just relaxing completely, it's not your stretch. You got to push a little harder, okay? And it could be that we need to do some problem solving too. So if you feel anything different, just let me know in the chat. I'll help you out, okay? Or even if you're watching this recorded later, put it in the comment field below, because I can always respond to you and tell you which stretches to look for. I have a whole bunch of like stretch by stretch, one at a time videos where you can watch each stretch and learn them one by one. I have that playlist. I also have an entire playlist of problem solving stretches. So if you need help with that, or if you need a different variation or something, don't feel like you can't reach out, because I'm here for you and I will respond to those messages, okay? So go ahead and leave them in the comment field and I'll send you a little, a little more information. I have no problem doing that. For our next stretch, grab a towel. I just like a hand towel, like you dry your hands with. And make sure that you have a strap. You basically create a strap with it. You could also use a yoga strap with this, or a rope. I have ropes here on Jeff. He's the skeleton. You can use those kind of ropes, but not the stretchy ones. These kind of straps, these like TheraBands with give, they will not work. So you don't want to use those, because you can't really resist against something that has elastic to it. So it has to be something stable that won't stretch. Then lay on your back. Bring your left leg up and grab the rope with your right hand, or the towel with your right hand. So I've got this strap around my left leg and I'm holding it in my right hand. That creates a diagonal from my foot to my shoulder. You see that diagonal? And I want you to make your left leg turn in so that it's also on that diagonal. So my heel is kind of kicking a little out to the left and my knee is turned into the right. You should feel turned in from your hip on the right. You might want to hold your head also with your left hand, okay? Take down for strength. That engages the muscle in the outer part of your hamstring right here. And then you're going to pull up for your stretch. And I'm just pulling up to the right, but definitely over my right shoulder. So think of pulling more towards your head than towards the right side of the room. It'll automatically happen because you're pulling with your right arm, okay? So just think of pulling up and down. You should feel this stretch on the outer part of your hamstring right here. If you don't feel that, it's okay. Let me know. Put it in the chat. Put it in the comments. Tell me what you feel. And I'll help you figure out what to do. Because doing the stretch a million times is not going to fix it. If you have a problem, if there's something wrong, then we have a whole formula to help you figure out how to fix it, okay? So I can help you do that. Just let me know. Just let me know. Keep down for strength and up for stretch. Find that stretch in the outer part of your hamstring. It's so good. It was nice to take a few days off, I have to say. I slept a lot. I slept a whole lot. I also watched like 7 Disney movies in a row. You know that they do that on Disney Plus? Like you finish one movie and another one will start. You can just keep watching them. It's kind of funny. Okay, so now bring your right leg up, wrap the rope around your right foot, grab it with your left hand. Okay, so now the diagonal is going from my left shoulder to my right foot. I'm going to turn my knee into the left so that I get that same diagonal with my leg. Okay, so my leg is going in the same diagonal as my arm. Then I'm going to kick down. My arm's going to resist by trying to pull up. My arm's going to win this time, even though my leg's still trying to stay down. So you just go back and forth. Down for strength and up for your stretch. Find the stretch in the outer hamstring. And you just go back and forth. Down for strength and up for stretch. Finding that stretch in the way that feels the best for you. And again, we're aiming for 10, but you could do more or less depending on what you need, okay? But you know if you need more if it feels good. If it doesn't feel good, you need less or maybe none at all, okay? If that's the case, let me know. And I will help you. I say that for every stretch, but I mean it for every stretch. I mean it, you guys. I can totally help you. And it's not like I'm going to be like, I can help you in a private session where I have to, we have to pay for it. Although that is an option. It could be as easy as me just directing you to a different video. That's all it is. So let me know. And it could be in class that it's something that we can fix right now. So if that's the case, let me know too. Okay? All right, I want to go into another stretch now for our quads. So take your towel, if you have one, and get it nice and doubled up so that it's soft. And then we're going to go up against the wall. To do this quad stretch, you start on all fours and you take your right leg up against the wall so that your knee is on the towel and your foot is flat on the wall. But you could turn your toes under if that's hard on your foot. You can also pull your knee further away from the wall if that's too hard on your quads, okay, if it's too intense. And then you're going to bring the other leg around to the front. So you do that like this. You just pull that leg up and then come up into a lunge, okay? If this feels too intense for you to be in this lunge, you're too close to the wall. Bring your knee further away. Or it could mean that you just shouldn't be doing the stretch. So if that's the case, skip it, go get a drink of water, okay? This could be the stretch you just let go today, all right? Oh, that's my Amazon. You guys hang tight. I gotta go open the door. You can't miss those things, Okay. So now you're gonna push with your back leg into the wall and push with your front leg into the floor and forward so that your legs are trying to push in opposite directions. Then push forward, use your back leg to propel you forward. Use your front leg to push you back. When you come back here, you're gonna find a nice stretch in your quads right here in the front. Then you just go forward for strength and back for your stretch. And you just go back and forth. Okay, make sure that your knee and your hips and your shoulders all move together in a straight line. It might help you to take your right hand and put it against your body. And if you can move all of this in a straight line, your arm will stay straight. But if you're like bending from your hips, you'll notice your elbow might want to bend, right? That's not the same stretch. You're gonna make sure that everything is hinging from your knee joint. And see that you can find that stretch right through the front of your quads. Got it? It's a nice one. And again, if it's too intense, bring your knee further away, all right? Or you could go back to that same quad pump that we did before, the very first stretch of class. You could go back and do that one too. What do you think, Surrey? Are you happy to be back in stretching class? Yeah. My mom called her fat yesterday. Poor thing. So I don't think you're fat. I just think you've got extra love in your belly. That's all. There's so much love in your belly. Okay. Next stretch. Bring your left leg to the wall so that your foot is flat and your knee's on the towel. And again, you can turn your foot under or you can bring your knee further away, whatever you need. Bring your right leg around to the front and then come up into this lunge again. Ooh, this is a little tight for me. Then you're gonna push in opposite directions. So your back leg's gonna push into the wall, your front leg's gonna push forward, and you just go back and forth. So here I'm going forward into my stretch. My front leg is gonna push me back. You'll feel your quad stretch on the left side. Should feel good. If it doesn't feel good, like I said before, just skip it. Go back to that quad pump that we were doing before if you want to. If you'd rather do that version, that's okay. That would fit too. Give us a little more quad strength and stretch so that we can get into that chair pose a little bit better. Okay. Right, Surrey? Yes. So I might be getting a kitten. I know. I'm looking into it. I filled out the application. I'm going to go meet the new cats. I have a friend who's adopting, so she's fostering some. So she has 5 cats. I'm going to go look at them. Maybe get a baby cat. Wouldn't that be fun? Stretching with kittens. We'll see what happens, right? Yes. Suri's excited. I can tell. Can you? She looks excited. She does. See, told ya. Okay. Okay, Suri. Okay. Now, it's time for us. You might want to get out of the way. It's time for us to work a bit on our shoulders. So if we're thinking about chair pose, we want to be able to bring our arms over our head like this, which means that our deltoids have to be able to shorten. Otherwise, it's going to feel like a little bit of a pinch on the top of our shoulders. So if you notice when you put your arms up like this that you feel some pain on the top, it could be just because we need to work through this series. So let's do that. See if we can get rid of some of that pain on the top so that you can get your arms up a little bit. What do you think? Can you get your arms up? Can you? Huh? Can you bite me? Okay, bring your right arm in towards your body. Grab your wrist with your left hand and try to pull both arms apart. So we're going to do some strengthening on our deltoids. Push up for strength and then pull down. You're going to use your left arm to pull down. Your right arm is still fighting. Usually we tip our head in this one, but I really want to work on these muscles here on the top of our shoulders. So don't tip your head for the first couple, just to make sure that you're really accessing the deltoid muscles. See what you feel. You should start to feel a little bit of like burn, feeling the muscle working right here on the top of your muscle. It comes down into kind of like a diamond shape. It's like a, I keep thinking of, I've been playing this game where it has like chrysalises that turn into butterflies on my phone because I'm bored. So think of it like the shape of a chrysalis. It gets round and it comes to a point at the end. That's how your deltoid is. So see if you can feel that. Really like feel the whole muscle. Kind of cradling the top of your shoulder and going down into a point, right about mid-arm right here. She's been yelling at me all week to stretch. She's like, why are you not stretching? Why are you not stretching? She's like, I miss all my stretching people. So she said, right, Sam? You're a good one. Okay, I've switched sides. So you're gonna bring your left arm in, grab your wrist with your right hand, and up for strength and down for stretch. What do you think I am, a scratching post? What do you think this is? Silly. I'm glad she showed up for you guys today. I can't wait to get a kitten. I'm like beside myself. I'm very excited. Okay, up for strength and down for stretch, and we'll just go back and forth just like this. And again, try to find that muscle on the top of your shoulder and how it comes down to a point and see if you can feel that. If you know this stretch with the neck and you want to add that in, you can. That's up to you. Otherwise, if you don't know that, let's just leave it where it is for right now and I'll teach it to you on a different day because I really want to focus on this part of the muscle. I can't help it. Just ouch. Just have to grab a belly. Okay, the next stretch we're going to do is for your lats. So bring your right arm up so that your hand just hovers behind your neck. And then grab your elbow with your other hand. You're going to try to pull both arms apart. This will give you activation through your lats. From here, use your left arm to pull you down and forward towards your left knee. So it's a little bit of a diagonal. It's not straight to the left and it's not straight forward. It's like diagonal, okay? So you're going to pull with your left hand. Your right hand is resisting. Keep your hips down. If it's uncomfortable for you to be on your knees like this, you can sit any way you want. Just make sure your hips are on the floor or in a chair, right? You can sit in a chair and do this stretch. You can also just sit with your legs crossed or even, up against a wall even. And just go back and forth. She doesn't know what to do with herself today. It's kind of adorable. It was so nice to have a few days off. I appreciate you guys for, not giving me too much crap about that. it's important, I think, every now and then for us to reevaluate and take some time to rest, take some time to recover. Right? It was a tough week last week, especially with closing my studio, with the looting, with the protests. There was all sorts of things going on. It was just too much for me all at once, and I needed some time. So I spent a lot of time just relaxing, a lot of time journaling and thinking, but also cleaning. There's nothing better than cleaning house. And I think especially when your mind just doesn't feel quite right, when you don't feel like you're in the right place, or when you feel like you're overwhelmed or not quite sure what to do, sometimes cleaning your external environment has a very therapeutic effect of cleaning your internal environment. And I think that's why stretching for me is also so important, because when you fix your body, you fix your internal environment too, right? It's important. It's important to stay safe and strong in your body. And so that's that's kind of what we're doing here. It's just reinforcing our stability, reinforcing how strong we are, taking care of the thing that holds us. Your body's the home that you have for your whole life. You have to take care of it. But I also feel like cleaning house, like really cleaning house, literally, was so clearing for me. It changed everything. So now we're going to go into a stretch for the front of our shoulders. This is to bring your arms straight up like this, which also is going to help us in that chair pose, right? So let's go to the wall, and we're going to use the wall kind of as a prop to take us into this stretch. So you just want to find a blank wall where you can put your hands right in front of you. Take your hands against the wall and try to pull down towards your legs. So you're going to activate your pecs by trying to pull down, and then bend at your hips to bring you into this stretch. As you bend your hips, you'll bring your head through. Try to pull your hips away from the wall. Keep your arms resisting, like you're trying to pull your hands down to the floor. And you'll feel this stretch in your armpits, like right in the front of your shoulders. If you don't feel that, just skip this stretch, okay? Like especially if you feel it in the back of your shoulders. We'll work through it. So use your arms to pull you up. And then use your body, your lower body, you just bend at your hips to pull you back. So I'm actually pulling with my arms to the wall like I'm trying to pull down this way. I'm not pushing into the wall. I'm pulling down. And then I'm using my hip flexors in the front of my body to pull my hips into this bent position. It's kind of a whole body ordeal, but really you just bend at your hips. Keep resisting with your arms. Your lower body wins to bring you down, and then your upper body wins to pull you back up. Nice little tug of war between the two. It's a really nice stretch. So up for strength and down for your stretch. Let's do one more, and then we're going to get into the back of our shoulders. Good. Okay, if anyone's on live right now, I didn't tell anyone I was coming back today. I just turned the computer on and went for it. So I don't expect anyone to be on. But if anyone's on live right now, be sure to tell me if you have any problems in the stretch, because I will problem solve these with you during class. But again, if any of you guys are having issues after the fact, if you're watching this in a recording, then just put it in the comment field and I'll direct you in the right way to go, okay? But if you're live, you've got my actual expertise during class. So that's a good reason to be there live in class. Okay, and then bring your hands together, your thumbs right over your head. You can sit however you want. It doesn't have to be like this. And you're just going to squeeze your elbows together. Your shoulder blades will start to come apart. And then as you open up, you'll feel your shoulder blades come together. So as you're squeezing your elbows together, you're stretching out the back of your shoulders. See how that feels for you. See if you can find a nice stretch in the back of your arms. Should be like right back here. Okay? If you don't feel that, it's okay. Just skip the stretch, or you can move in a smaller range. So maybe like this. That'd be all right. Okay? Just make sure you keep your hands over your head. If you drop down like this, you're kind of cheating. Okay, so don't cheat. Just go back and forth. Open and close. And find the stretch right in the back of your shoulders. See how that feels for you. If it feels good, keep doing it. Do as many as you want. If you're starting to get tired, just stop. It's okay. You don't have to do it, right? But again, remember, if you need help with this stretch, just tell me. Tell me in the chat and I'll help you through it, okay? Oh, awesome. What do you think? This is boring for you? You're bored? She's falling asleep. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Okay. Now, I want to go back into the top of our shoulders because, remember, we're working on a chair pose today, so we want to try to get our arms up, okay? So bring your right arm in close to your body. Grab your wrist with your left hand, and you're going to push up for strength, and then back down for your stretch. This time, let's go ahead and add our neck stretch in. So you can bring your head to the left when you get to the end of that stretch to stretch out the muscles right here through the side of your neck and also the fascia, okay? So you'll come up for strength, push down for your stretch, and when you get to the bottom again, just keep resisting between your hand and your wrist. That's important. And then bring your ear over to your left shoulder, left ear to left shoulder. You can kind of do a little head nod so you can get a little deeper stretch that way. You just go up and down, up for strength and down for stretch, head to the side. She's totally asleep. That's funny. Oh, cats. Oh, cats. I think I'm going to name my newest cat Thomas O'Malley the Alley Cat. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I might be super excited about it. I don't think this cat is super going to be sad. Hopefully, new kitten. It'll be a new stretched cheek kitten. So go ahead and switch sides if you haven't already. This is the left arm. You're going to push up for strength and use your right arm to pull you down for your stretch. And when you get to the bottom, tilt your ear over to the right side. And see if you can find that stretch through your neck and shoulder. And just go up and down, up for strength and down for stretch, tilting your head to the right. Maybe a little head nod to see if you can get a little deeper stretch through your neck and shoulder. Up for strength and down for stretch. Oh, it's such a good stretch. Now, after these stretches, go ahead and try reaching your arms over your head again and see how good that feels, okay? I want to see if you can get a little more fascia stretch too. So bring your hands really big, like jazz hands. And as you come up into the stretch, I want you to pretend like you're trying to push through webbing to open your hands up as wide as you can. Reach towards the ceiling, maybe wiggle your fingers, turn your hands, and that'll give you the deeper stretch. So you take your jazz hands, pretend like you're pushing up through like spider webs. Up, 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 up. Open your hands up as wide as you can. When you get to the top, you can move in the way that your body wants to. You might find that you need to twist and turn. You might want to pull your fingers in a different way. You might want to open and close. Your body will tell you what it wants to do. This is called pandiculation. There's actually something happening where your body says, ooh, yeah, that way. And you follow, it's kind of like the path of greatest resistance. You just follow where it goes. You follow what it feels like and get that nice deep stretch. Oh, and when you're done, if you're not yawning when you're doing that stretch or growling in some way, you're probably not doing it right. It's so good. Okay, so now we're going to move on into some leg stretches, if Suri will let me. Her ear just went, what? Okay, so we're going to move into a stretch for our hamstrings. You're going to lay on your back. Bring your right leg up again, and this time grab the ball of your foot with both hands. Your knee's going to face straight in towards your body, And if you need to, you can take your towel that you were using before and wrap it around your foot so that you can have a little more extension to your arms. It's like go gadget, right? You have a little bit more arm space here. So you'll kick down for strength and then use your arms to pull you up into your stretch. And you just go back and forth, down for strength and up for stretch. Oh, my knee's a little noisy today. It's okay. Someone told me once that knee crackling like that was a good, healthy sign of healthy knees. I don't know how I feel about that, but I like that someone said it. All right. And then if you were watching my, a couple of days ago, I put up a stretch of the day, and it's a hamstring stretch with fascia. This is how this works. So see here, I'm pulling up with my shoulders, so my elbows are like pointing kind of towards the wall behind me. I'm going to change my arm position so that my elbows are now pulling to the floor. That brings me into a little bit of a calf stretch because it pulls my foot, my toes closer to me. Then from here, I'm going to very slowly press my heel up towards the ceiling and then bend down again and press. This is a fascia stretch, which feels a little different. It's a little shaky. Don't try to pop it into place because fascia can tear. And I don't want that to happen to you. So very gently push up. When it feels like it's enough, just bring it back down. We just pump up and down a few times like that to get a little bit of fascia stretch. It's nice. Okay, now flip sides. So you'll wrap the strap around your left foot. You can also use just your hands here if you can reach and grab the ball of your foot with both hands. You kick down for strength and you pull up for stretch. Now notice that my elbows are moving towards this wall. They're not just pulling down, but they're actually lifting up. It's the same thing if I use the towel around my foot. I pull up and my elbows are moving. They're not pulling down yet. That's for fascia. For the actual muscle stretch, you need to pull up towards the wall. So your shoulders will be moving. There's resistance between my foot and my arms. My legs trying to stay down, my arms are trying to stay up. And there's just a nice tug of war between the two. And then after you've warmed up a bit, if you want to throw in this fascia stretch, you can. What you do is you just turn your arms so that your elbows are now pulling down to the floor and very gently press your heel straight up. So it's a bending in close, so my knee is really close to my torso here, and my arms are pulling down towards the floor to give me a bit of a calf stretch. Then, keeping this resistance with my arms, I just gently lift my heel. This will start to straighten my leg out. I'm not trying to pull towards the wall this way. I'm trying to push straight up into the air. This is a really nice stretch for the fascia. Awesome. All right, friends, we're going to go into a stretch for our hip flexors. Now, I had another stretch that was a video that I put out this week for your hip flexors, and we call it the hip flexor fallback. It's like a trust fall. Hip flexors are here in the front of your body, and when people go into fight or flight mode, that tends to be the muscle that seizes up. And I would say that most of America is having a fight or flight mode muscular issue right now. I would say pretty much everybody, unless you're living in a bubble, which is possible. So what we're going to do is sit with both legs in front of us, and then bring your right leg up and hug it. When you do that, you'll feel your whole body kind of just tilt back a little bit. So you just kind of roll up. You're kind of like in the egg shape. You kind of rolled up into a ball. But my right leg here is straight out in front of me. If I say, this is my left leg that's tucked in. Let me just double check that because I think I said it wrong. My left leg I'm holding on to, my right leg is out front. Okay? Now what I'm going to do from here is very slowly just roll back without lifting my right leg. So my muscles in the front of my hips are going to have to hold me up. And then I'm going to use that muscle to pull me back up. So my hip flexor here in the front of my right hip is short right now. And as I lay back, that muscle lengthens out. So that's the stretch. This stretch holds me safe too. So it's always engaged the whole time. This muscle keeps engaged, it keeps resisting. And it has the ability to pull me out of this stretch at any point in time. So when I feel like I've gone far enough, I can't hold myself up anymore, then I pull back up. I'm safe in this stretch as long as I can stay up. If you feel like you're tipping over, you're falling back, or your foot's coming off the ground, then you're going too far. Okay, you just go with a smaller range of motion. And this one also, your tailbone is right on the ground. So if you feel like this is uncomfortable for your sacrum, put another mat or a towel or something under your body so that you can roll a little easier. Okay. There are really cushy mats. I used to have a link in the description box for these mats. I'll have to see if I still have that. They're called Valeo mats, Valeo. You can buy them on Amazon. They're amazing. They're just thick enough, and they keep really good thickness, like a spring in the mat, so that even if after you've had your knee on it or something for a long time, it keeps its thickness, which isn't the case with a lot of thicker mats. Sometimes they look thick, but they put your knee on it and you end up on the ground. So those are really great mats. They're called Valeo, Valeo, my favorites. I've had some that are like 15 years old. I mean, they're really great. They still are fine and they get a lot of use. So from here, I've got my right leg up now. My left leg is in front. And I'm going to very gently lay back so that I can find the stretch in the front of my hip on the left side. When I feel like this muscle is not able to hold me up anymore, and you know that because your leg would pop up or you fall backwards, then I'm going to come back in. This rocking motion is happening because my psoas muscle here is allowing it. It's strong enough to pull me in. This muscle's doing the pull in. It's also holding me up as I come back. And as I come back, the band is stretching, stretching, stretching. And as I come forward, it's shortening. So you can think of it almost like it's like a bungee cord, right? Right here in the front of your leg. So it's like, you don't want to do this fast, but it's like the person just jumped off the cliff and the band stretch, stretch, stretch. And then at a certain point, it pulls you back in. So you're safe because that band has elasticity, right? But you don't want to let go of that tension because if you do, you end up face first in the river, right? or on a cliff or wherever, I don't know, it's not good. You want to make sure that whatever you have that's holding you up is stable and strong, that no matter how stretched it gets, it can always pull you back up. It's important. So important. So you just lay back, this is your stretch, and forward for your strength training. I feel like this is such a therapeutic stretch today. Very good for us. Now you're going to lay on your back and we're going to do a stretch for your inner thighs. So lay back. Adjust your head so it's right on the bun like a pillow. It's my favorite thing. You're going to bring your feet up so your soles of your feet are facing towards the ceiling and your legs are perpendicular to the floor. Make sure they're not in too close to your body, but actually like really about like 90 degrees, like perpendicular to the floor. Take your hands and turn so that your thumbs are pointing down and your palms are out, and grab your knees right at the inside of your legs. And then you're going to squeeze in for strength and open up for your stretch. This is a stretch for your inner thighs. It's a nice stretch. Make sure your legs are still trying to pull in the whole time. You want to make sure you have nice resistance all the time. So my legs are still resisting while my arms bring them into a stretch, and then I squeeze in for strength. And you just go back and forth. Up is strength training. Opening up, my arms are winning, but my legs are still fighting. So you just go back and forth. In for strength and open for stretch. And again, if anything doesn't feel good or if you're noticing any kind of problems or issues, just let me know in the chat and I can help you work through them. Okay? I know, lucky for you guys. I haven't told anybody about class. So you are more than welcome to chime in. I can tell you right now that at this point in life, I'm able to help you in class while we're live. So Don't be shy, okay? And then, of course, any of you guys who are watching after the fact, it's the same case. I'm not swamped right now, so I can't help you. Just go ahead and leave me a note in the description box or in the chat box below, okay? It would be the comments. I could throw in words. It's like when my mom tries to figure out what all of my sister's names are. She goes through all of them before she gets it right. Okay, so next, lay on your back. Bring your right leg on top of your left leg and let your knee open up to the side. And then you're going to grab your left leg with both hands, interlock your fingers. You can also use your towel around your leg if you need a little bit of arm extension. Push open for strength and pull in for your stretch. And you just go back and forth like this. So you're pushing out with your right leg and you're pulling in with your arms. See how that feels for you. If it doesn't feel good, you can skip it. Let me know in the chat. I'll help you through. You could try problem solving for your abductors. If you need that, just check out my problem solving videos. And you just go back and forth, out for strength and in for stretch, finding the way that this stretch feels the best to you. See how it goes. And again, about 10 or however many feels good to you, and we're going to switch sides. So bring your left leg up, take your right hand and reach through, take both hands and grab your right leg through. Push with your left leg out for strength and pull in for your stretch. Finding this stretch in your glute on the left side. It should be the outer part of your hip and these muscles here on the side. Out for strength and in for stretch. And again, back and forth about 10 times, making sure that you keep your resistance the whole time and always move. Don't hold this stretch at any point in time. But see if you can always feel this proper give and take between the two, okay? And if it doesn't feel good, just stop. No need to stick in a stretch that doesn't feel good. Let me know and I'll help you figure out what the next steps are for you. Out for strength and in for stretch. All right, friends. Next, let's move into some arm stretches. Oh, let's see. Let's work on our shoulders first, because again, we're trying to get our arms up over our heads, right? So let's work on our trapezius muscles. These go into your neck here, the side of your shoulders. This is where we hold a lot of anxiety. So bring your right arm across your body and grab your wrist with your left hand. And from here, you're going to resist if you're trying to pull both arms apart. Push up for strength, and then pull down for your stretch. You're pulling down and across, keeping your arms straight. So I'm pulling down to the left, and then at the bottom here, you can see my arms at a diagonal across my body. I'm going to keep resisting. So I'm going to try to keep pushing my arm up towards the right. And then I'm going to pull my head to the left. Bring your forehead forward just a little bit. And find that stretch in your neck on the right side. Should be right here. Okay? So push up for strength. Keep resisting. Pull down for your stretch. When you get to the bottom, bring your head over to the left. Find that stretch on the right side of your neck. If you feel it on the left side, it means you just need to swap sides. So just do the other side instead. Okay? Up for strength and down for stretch. Now, if you're not feeling the stretch at all, or if you really don't like it, it's just not working for you, let me know in the chat and I'll help you figure it out. Or just skip it. Okay? Skip it. Not a big deal. So up for strength and down for stretch. And you can play around with this stretch in whatever way feels the best for you. So as you get down into the bottom here and tilt your head, it might feel good to look at your right knee and kind of pull your head in that direction. Just make sure that you stay out of pain. If anything feels bad, you don't want to do it, okay? Just don't. Just stay out of pain. It's really important because your body reacts to pain by creating barriers so that you don't do that thing again. So if you take yourself into a painful place while you're stretching, you might actually be creating more tension in your body, okay? That's hard for people to understand, but I can't tell you enough times that stretching is not supposed to hurt. And if you keep taking yourself into a place of pain, you're not going to make gains. okay? So this idea of no pain, no gain, it does not work in the stretching world. It actually is the exact opposite, all right? So let's try the other side. Bring your left arm across your body, grab your wrist with your left hand, push up for strength, and then you're gonna pull down for your stretch. And as you pull down, you're pulling to the right. It's your left shoulder that's stretching. So you have to pull away from your left shoulder. Keep your torso still. When you get to the bottom, keep resisting and pull your head over to the right side as well. And see if you can find that stretch in your left side through your neck and shoulder. Okay. Up for strength and down for stretch. So when you get to the bottom of the stretch again, find that stretch in your neck. It's kind of lovely. And then just go up and down. Up for strength and down for stretch. And find that stretch in the best way for you. Just go back and forth. Okay? It's that easy. It's that easy. And again, if it doesn't feel good, skip it. Just skip it. Or work in a smaller range of motion. Like maybe you just move your arm like this. Maybe you don't put your neck into it, right? You don't have to do everything that I'm doing just because I'm doing it. You can listen to your own body and figure out what's the best for you, right? It's hard for us to grasp. It's a very interesting concept, right? We want to get the fix. Like, I'll do anything it takes to fix this thing. But sometimes taking it too far, doing whatever it takes, will make things worse. So don't do anything that's not feeling wonderful to you. And if there's a way for you to take it a step back to make it even better, then that's great. That's actually going to be more beneficial for you than going all the way into the stretch. Okay? So let's go now into a stretch for the front of our shoulders here. You're going to go into like a crab walk position. Bring your feet in front of you, your hands behind you. Your fingers are going to face towards your feet if you can. If not, that's okay. You can turn it the other way. It's up to you. All right? Now what we're going to do here is we're going to curl our shoulders in towards our body. So it's kind of like you're curling up and think of like having really bad posture. Let your head come in. Let your spine round in the back. Your torso here is all kind of in a curved position. Your tailbone's a little tucked, right? A little posterior tilt. And then you're going to push with your hands, lift your chest up towards the ceiling. You'll end up with the arch in your back going the other direction, a little anterior tilt in your pelvis, and a stretch through the neck and shoulders. If that's too much for you to think about, just curl in with your arms, push your arms, and lift your chest up towards the ceiling. And just go back and forth. So here I'm curled up, everything's kind of like in a ball, everything's rounded, right? Everything feels like it's coming from the back of my body, and then I'm going to push up, and I'm going to make all this opening happen in the front of my shoulders and like that. Oh, so good. So in for strength, and press up for your stretch. Again, we're going to aim for about 10 of these, but you can do as many as you want. Just do what feels good, okay? In for strength, and push open for stretch. And just take your time. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the stretch as it's happening. In for strength, and then up for stretch. All right. That feels about right to me. I don't count. I just stretch until I feel like I'm done stretching. Just kind of how I do it. All right, the next stretch we're going to do is for the front of your shoulders here. So we're going to go into a push-up. You know, sometimes a push-up just feels like strength training, and that's fair. But when you push into the top of the push-up, like you're pushing up, all of these muscles in your chest get small, right? And as you open this way, then you pull your shoulder away from your sternum, and this muscle here just gets long, 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 long. Okay? So as we're going down towards the floor, we're going to get a resistance stretch through our pecs. It'll go to the front of your shoulders here. If when we're doing this, you feel anything in your low back or you feel it in the back of your shoulders, skip this stretch, let me know. Just give me a little, thing in the chat or in the comment box, and I'll help you figure out how to problem solve through that, okay? All right, let's try this. So you're going to come onto your knees. Your hands are going to be really wide. You can also do this against the wall if you don't want to do the stretch up like an actual push-up. You could do the push-up on the wall. That'd be okay too. Bring your elbows wide and start to drop down. When you feel like you can't hold yourself up anymore, then push back up. You want to make sure that you feel this in the front of your shoulders and not in the back of your shoulders. If you feel it in the back, just skip it, okay? Don't even try. If you feel like you're losing your core strength, you're just going too far to the ground. So take it smaller. Maybe like this would be fine. Okay, and again, we're aiming for 10, but you may not have 10 push-ups in you today, and that's all right. Now, I know people do like 100 push-ups a day, but resistance stretching push-ups, the lowering phase of the push-up is a lot harder than the lifting up phase. So you're gonna get more tired, okay? A lot of times people push up and relax down and push up and relax down. You're doing them both ways. And so 10 is plenty. 10 is plenty even for the strongest people I know, okay? So don't feel bad if you can't do 10, it's not a big deal, all right? Now we're gonna go into a stretch for the back of your shoulders. So have a seat in a way that feels good to you. Bring your right arm up like you're pulling a train whistle and grab your elbow with your other hand. You're gonna pull like you're trying to pull your arms apart, okay? And then push open to the right. Keep your torso still so that all this movement happens from your shoulders. And then use your left arm to pull your right arm across your body. So I'm now pulling towards the left. I'm getting a stretch through my right shoulder and the back. Open up for strength and pull across for your stretch. And you should feel this in the back of your shoulder. And if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Again, you could also move in smaller ranges of motion. If you feel it lower in your body, like through here, you're probably twisting your torso. So don't go so far. Make sure that you feel this movement happening here in the shoulder joint and not like twisting like this, okay? So just go open and close. And remember, you don't have to sit how I'm sitting for this stretch. So you could sit in a chair, you could sit cross-legged, you could stand up. It doesn't matter. You can sit however you want. The focus here is on your shoulders, okay? We're aiming for about 10 again, but do as many as you want, especially if it's getting pretty sleepy, it's getting tired. It's okay, you don't have to do it. Open for strength and close for your stretch. And then let's go ahead for the other side. So bring your left arm up, grab your elbow with your right hand. You're gonna resist as you're pulling them apart. Push open towards the left wall this time, keeping your torso straight. So you're still like square looking ahead. Your arms just happen to be way over there, okay? And then you're gonna use your right arm to pull you across. You'll get the stretch through the outside of your left shoulder in this one. And just go back and forth. Open for strength and close it up for stretch. Find the stretch in the way that feels the best to you. It might be a smaller range of motion, right? Like you just might move this far, okay? You might need to give yourself a little bit of traction. So pull your elbow away from your body a little bit to get a little more open space in the joint. That sometimes feels really good. You may need to hold your fingers tight so that you get a fascia stretch. That might feel good. Just do what feels right to you, okay? And again, about 10, but if you're feeling tired or if this is too much, it's okay to do 3 or 4, doesn't matter. And if you're really having any problems with this, let me know and I'll help you through it. My body is like, you're a whole lot of sheep, Carrie. You haven't been stretching for almost a week. It's been like 4 days. Not that long. Okay, now let's go ahead and try our chair pose again. So you're gonna come up. I've got my feet just about shoulder width apart. But I'm gonna show you from the side so you can see how I handle this in my body. What you're gonna do is bend your knees and bend at your hips to counterbalance. Bring your hands up over your head and just go into this chair pose as deep as you want to go. When you feel like you're ready to come up, stand up. You do not need to stay in a position. You don't have to hold it, right? You don't have to. So bring your hands up over your head, bend your knees, keep your feet on the floor. Find this position, and when you feel like you've gone far enough, back up, arms down, okay? You might be tired. I'm getting a little tired. Let's just do a few of these up and down just like this. Testing your squat and coming right back up. Let's do one more. Ready? Arms up, bend at your knees, fold at your hips. Find your chair pose. And there you go. And there you have it, my friends. Whew. Back to it. I'm so glad you guys are able to join me today. If you are here, let me know. Say hi in the chat. Also, for those of you who would like to contribute to Stretch Chi, this channel is run by donations, completely run by donations. So I have a link in my box below, down in the description box. If you feel like contributing, that would be awesome. If you do not have the ability to contribute, that's okay too, because it all balances out. And I love to people who need it. So let's do that, all right? You guys can also support me a million times over by giving me a thumbs up. Just say, like, if you liked class, give it a thumbs up. Leaving the comments is very helpful. And also share this with your friends if you know anybody who needs it. Okay. All right, my friends, I'll see you next time. Have a great week. I'm here actually. Oh, thanks, Helen. Here. I'll stay Friday at 11 a.m., Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday at 9 a.m. Okay? All right. I hope to see you guys soon. Have a great week. Bye-bye. Where's the end button? I can't even find it. I'd love to say goodbye to you guys, but maybe I should just hang out with you all day. I'm kidding. Okay. Bye for real.